Hello, everybody. It is Caleb Game back here again with another video. This is gonna be a part 2 to the video I uploaded last. Um, yeah, sorry I look like shit. I mean, I always look like shit, but sorry I look especially like shit right now. Um, but yeah, so just we'll get into it. This is part 2 to Lucas Gray and Bounty Hunter. As the sun began to set on the Arizona plains, I knew I had to find a place to bed down for the night. But the land was flat, with no place to take cover. I spotted a riverbed not too far away, but bedding down there, you risked getting rushed by a flash flood, if it even bothered to rain. But then I spotted a small plateau about half a mile away. I knew I could make it before sundown. I finally reached the formation and spotted a cave that was hard to see, as several rocks hid it. I tethered Ryder, my buckskin thoroughbred, to a dead tree outside the cave, then took his saddle and my equipment inside. I built a small fire, cooked me some fresh side, ate some hardtack, then put my head down to sleep. As my eyes closed and my thoughts were drowned out by the crickets and the howls of the coyotes, the dream started. A soft breeze made its way across the prairie. Jack played with Anna in the yard, and Anna stood there, her black hair flowing in the wind, as beautiful as always. I started to yell out into the yard that it was darn near bedtime, but before I could form the words, I heard a shot ring out. I shifted my gaze. There were 3 armed gunmen riding towards us. The one heading their formation raised his rifle and fired a shot, and the world seemed to stop. I watched as Jack fell, and red left his body and soaked the dirt beneath him. Out of instinct, I grabbed my rifle and raised it to fire a shot. But as I did, a 3rd shot rang out, and I felt the bullet hit my chest. I fell with a thud. As my eyes became heavy and my shirt soaked with blood, the men dismounted their horses and started to harass Anna. The youngest of the group said, "I think we could have some fun with her," and start to tie her up. My strength was fading, but I had to do anything. I had to do something. Anything. I used what little force was left in my body to unholster my revolver, cock the hammer, and pull the trigger. The big .45 slug blew a hole in the size of Texas through the young one's skull. As I raised my gun again, the leader of the men drew his gun and fired another shot into me. I jerked awake. My body shot into an upright position, and I found myself yelling Anna's name. My body was sore and cold, yet I had beads of sweat on my forehead. I had beads of sweat on my forehead. I took a bandana from my pocket and used it to wipe the sweat, then put it back. I headed outside. The sun wasn't quite over the horizon and barely lit the sky. My destination was another 7 miles off. I saddled Ryder before eating a breakfast of dried jerky and some horrible coffee. I also threw some water over the fire and scattered its remnants a bit, so it didn't look too fresh. Then I threw myself over the back of my horse and started off. As I rode through the Arizona desert, my thoughts raced through my head. Memories, good and bad, of the boys back in the cavalry, of Anna and Jack, and of the men who took my life from me. My train of thought was finally broken. About another half-mile off, I could see the mouth of the canyons. I had a general sense of where the hideout might be in the maze, but I didn't know anything for sure. I rode a bit closer, then dismounted my horse and hid him away in a good grazing spot. Then I grabbed my rifle from the saddle scabbard and started off in the canyons. That is the conclusion to part 2. I know, not that great. Trust me when you actually sit down and read the story for yourself. I think it's pretty good. having me read it isn't that good because I'm a horrible reader when I read out loud. I skip over stuff because my brain's stupid. But yeah, that's the end of part 2. I'm hoping to have part 3 done in another week or 2 weeks, so stay tuned for that, and have a good night, good morning, good day, whenever you're watching this. Bye.